all right, this watch is short. One of the shortcomings has to do with the settings I programmed into it. It vibrates my wrist every time someone tweets at me. And in fact,
every time somebody you know tweets you, or anytime anybody tweets you?
Yeah. Well, no, you set it up however you want. I made a mistake. I also immediately got all these games on my watch, so at any given moment it'll buzz and I'll go like, oh, that could be someone needs a kidney. No, Spy Master needs to know if he should face down these dogs. Yes or no?
Do it.
There's like these games for the watch that are so dumb that they're basically just like some guy like buzzes your watch, a fictional guy buzzes your watch every 6 hours to let you know he needs more training.
Can you Minecraft? Can you craft?
No, you
mines?
can't Minecraft. Everyone stop making fun of me. Which brings me to a new thing. I don't even mean that because I don't take it personally, because that's one of the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, which my wife Erin McGathy turned me on to. The 4 agreements, Jeff. The audiobook, it takes less time to listen to than this podcast, which I have not done yet. But I got into the first agreement. But the 4 agreements are... God damn this fucking watch.
Spencer, are you getting a watch?
Oh,
so now
no.
there's another fucking tweet. Now people, of course, are tweeting me. You guys are great. It's like The Simpsons where they're all shocking each other. And I get it. You're amazing.
That's hilarious.
I'm not going to judge you for it. I'm just going to say it doesn't take talent to do what you're doing. It's just the digital equivalent of throwing a tomato. That's all it is. It doesn't take any talent. You're creating a culture of fear, which is what I've learned from this book. Anyway, so the first agreement is don't train raptors. No, I'm getting my notes mixed up. The first of the 4 agreements is, and this is the 4 agreements by Miguel Ruiz. So look it up. The audiobook is $10, which is what you paid to get in here. It is 2 hours long. So if you listen, anyways.
What are the agreements?
The agreements are... Well, first, can I explain what he means by agreement?
Yes, please do.
So, okay. So he starts with the cosmology that everything that we're experiencing right now is a dream. Like, that's not new. There's a famous song about rowing boats. That... And I'm not kidding. I was thinking about that on the way here. I'm like, God damn, they hide the secret in fucking plain sight. It's on the back of a cereal box. Life is but a fucking dream, motherfucker. And then we watch The Matrix and we're like, holy shit, yeah, row your boat. I wanted to say the N-word so bad. row your boat. Life. We are all dreaming right now. We're all dreaming. The human brain is.
If life were but a dream, why not say the N-word after that? What are the repercussions?
Because I don't want to pollute that dream for other people. Because we're in a shared dream.
Is that one of the agreements? Don't drop an N-bomb in someone else's dream.
No, the first agreement is be impeccable with your word, and so that we'll get to that. I need some work on that one. I'll probably die getting that one right. But the idea, the cosmology is we are all made of light, the light between stars. It's easy to laugh at, young man.
He's not laughing at that concept. He's laughing at you fishing your way through this.
You don't know him. Trevor? Believe me, he's laughing at the wrong shit. I've met him. He's 3 minutes from his next DUI. But his dad's a senator, and I'm not bringing him up. We're all light.
What is that? What is that? What's the implication of that? Why is that important?
It's a model of
light.
It's not. What do you mean? Why is that important?
Well, is that a necessary principle for the rest of the agreements?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But you could probably do away with it after. I think. Because it never really comes back to. By the way, don't forget we're all light.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Well, but I'm just taking you through the guy's whole cosmology.
Thank you.
Do you guys like the format where we bring Spencer up before me? I thought that was a good choice.
Thank you.
Why are we saving him for dessert?
I couldn't be more nervous.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it really puts a lot more
I think
responsibility
You
on
have no idea.
If Spencer is dessert, if Spencer's like the dessert cart laying off to the side of the table while you're eating dinner. You're eyeing that cake the whole time. You get to look at that delicious cake over there. Spencer, you're like a sexy cannoli sitting over there. Just whoop.
That sounds good.
There are some people who are here for the first time, and they're wondering, why am I watching this? All right. So, and I'll tell you, it's for my book reviews.
What are the goddamn agreements?
That's what the cosmology is, we're made of light. And life is a dream. Like, we're all dreaming right now. You dream when you go to sleep, and yeah, your dog also dreams, and he's like, you know. We're dreaming when we're awake too, because this is all an illusion. Obviously, but the difference between this dream and the one you have when you're asleep is simply the fact that this one's consistent, which makes you think it's more real, because it will be here tomorrow. But it also means it was here before you were born. It's as artificial a reality as the ones that you have when you go to sleep at night. Life is a dream. We all share it, and that doesn't mean bad. It doesn't mean less real than important. Just to put yourself in that space where you think of reality, everything that we're living right now, as a dream. It kind of immediately sort of relaxes you, and like all the great myths that we've ever heard drive into that. All of the sacred texts like insinuate that, including The Matrix and Inception. You love it. You love it. And you do. This guy loves Inception. Wait, oh my God, the writer of Inception's here. I glanced at you and I was like, oh shit, I bet you wrote Inception. Will you stand up and prove, doesn't he look like you wrote Inception? He wrote Inception. Possibly.
Yes.
Or is it a dream?
I think he also wrote For Whom the Bell Tolls.
I don't know if that was... I think that was a joke about the power you emanate. It's all a dream. We are indoctrinated into the dream by way of agreements. So from the moment you're born, you're making agreements. Your attention's getting hooked by your parents for good reason. They're telling you, this is how you live in this dream. This is what the alphabet is. You call that a door. You call that a doormat. You call that an elephant. You call that an apple. You have to... The idea is that human beings are capable of experiencing 1,000 things at once, and of living as if we are living in a dream, of constant contradiction and never being certain about anything. Our brains are designed for that chaos, but we won. We took over the earth, and we have created a dream of very, very focused, very artificial things. And the only problem with it is that reality is it's obscured by this smoke that we create between all of us. We're never actually... He says, now, granted, I listened to this for a half hour and I turned it off, but we're made of light. All matter is mirrors, where it's reflecting the light. So every time you're looking at anything with your eyes, you're actually seeing something that's simply reflective of something else. You're not actually experiencing anything by looking at something. So we are all reflecting each other, and we are all the truth is right in front of us, but we have all been indoctrinated into a dream through these agreements that we make with society that teach you to sort of basically operate on fear. Like everything, you're a good boy if you do this, you're a bad boy if you do that. You're a really bad boy if you think that you're a girl. Ooh. You are there's all these rules. You guys know I was being ironic when I said that. It's fucking generation. This is the flawed society I'm representing. God damn it, I hate these fucking kids. Then they trick you into explaining everything. And
Dan, they're just light. You're light.
You're light. It's all a dream. We're gonna wake up when we die. It has nothing to do with afterlife or anything. It's just to say that these illusions about an afterlife, like the hell that we describe in Christian mythology, isn't it now? like is what the author says. Like this world of fear and hate, and where anybody can do anything, where your neighbor might break in your door and eat you, or he might reward you if you're a good enough boy or a bad enough boy. It's all driven by fear and prejudice and judgment and just like constant pursuit of like pleasing other people and hooking other people's attention and having your attention be hooked by them. When really what we are designed to do is just float and do all this stuff. So the idea of the 4 agreements is to wipe away all the agreements that you have made to get this far, wipe them all away and replace them with these 4 primary agreements.
Number 1.
Okay. Always, if you are number 1. Now the first 3 are traffic oriented. Number 1, if you're parking uphill, always turn your wheels to face the curb.
Dan, does one of these agreements have something to do with little shits and whether or not to sweat it?
The first rule is, don't sweat the little shit. The second agreement is it's all little shit. The first agreement is...
Don't talk about the 4 agreements. Yay.
I hope that's not in there. All right, let me just scroll through my watch, which I'm very happy I bought. Be impeccable with your word. All right, I'm working on that.
I like that one.
Fuck you.
It's
Dan, that's not very impeccable.
All right.
What does that mean to be impeccable with your word?
Do you want me to read the copy? It's short. These glasses, by the way, only work for far away.
Why not get
my life is a dream. It's insane. It's an insane dream where I'm now wearing props to make people like me. That's right. I have 20/20 vision, and why I was wearing these because people like me more in them.
Now we don't.
I fell into it.
Now that we know it's all lies.
Be impeccable with your word.
Rule number 1.
Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others, Jeff. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love, Adam Goldberg.
You're doing the opposite of being impeccable every time you inject.
Rule number 2: don't call out people who are telling you that for you're not allowed to. There's 5 agreements. 1A, you can't. You're not allowed. If someone knows the 4 agreements before you do, they get to tell you what they are.
Okay. So rule number 1: don't talk shit.
Yeah, don't talk shit. And that's tough. That's hard. Rule number 2: don't take anything personally. This is the one that led me to this because I think this is the big thing that I have in my life. I think this is like what all of my conflict is based on either I am taking something personally that people didn't mean to be taken personally, or I am saying something that someone else is taking personally that I did not mean for them to take personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. It's easier said than done. But it's really I've heard that. Don't take it personally. I find myself, I'm like, shit, god damn it, I keep catching myself.
If I could rephrase that, don't sweat the little shit.
That's not. God, you're a fucking idiot.
Rule number 1.
That's a reflection of me. That's a reflection of me.
Rule number 1. You broke rule number 2 and number 1 in the same fucking.
You don't know that. I'm a dream. I'm a dream. You piece of shit.
Rule number 1.
I'm a dream.
Number 2 and
you
number
know
1.
Nothing in my
You're
dream.
talking shit. You're taking it personally.
Everything you're saying is smoke. La 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 la. We're doing great. This book is saving our lives. Rule number 3, don't make assumptions. Find the courage, don't make assumptions. Pause. Find the courage to ask questions. I really like this one because I think this one actually, it braids nicely. This book is very old. My wife found this book in high school in her, identity-seeking phase. But it's still, this rule, I think, really is important as we enter this sort of culture of awareness and progression and calling each other out for things that we're doing wrong and stuff. Because I've said a couple times on this podcast, boy, could we try to understand ignorance a little more than we are. So agreement number 3 is don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. I don't know why he says that.
Because it's true,
Kind
man.
of shitting on the other agreements.
Dan,
I like that
you're
one
making
the
an
most.
assumption there.
You're right. But I'm asking a question. Why would you say that? Get your agreements shit together. Anyways, but on that note, the fourth agreement, here's what's funny about this. So I'm going to try to encapsulate this. Is that
Don't fill up on bread.
we started...
Because right there.
Agreement number 4, don't fill up on bread. You're always going to want to fill up on bread. It's delicious. It's particularly hot and buttery in restaurants, but so is the food that's coming. They're going to charge you for your meal anyway. Don't fill up on bread. That was a weird one to throw in there. But we were... The reason this whole thing came up is because we were in Austin with Derek Waters, the creator of Drunk History, and Aaron and I were sitting at a table drinking in this bar. And then the 4 agreements came up because Aaron had encountered this book in her life. And she remembered don't take it personally as the important one, the one that I think performers are constantly dealing with. You make a show and somebody says, this episode wasn't as good as this episode, and what a writer hears is you're a failure and fuck you, and then you write an email and say, dear Time Magazine, fuck off. I never did it. But it's like you're taking it personally. Anyways, but what are the other 3 agreements? And we're like, oh wow, be impeccable with your word. That's crazy. Oh man, yeah. Don't make assumptions. That's really good. And then, oh shit. Okay, I got a text real quick there. Okay. And then, but then the 4th one, it was just funny because it's 3 performers, like creative people sitting at a table, and we all looked at the 4th one when we found out what it was because we couldn't remember it. And then when we saw what it was, it's always do your best. And all the people at the table went, well, fuck that one. And then we all like, wait, why would we feel that way? It's because like I think people who act, direct, stunt coordinate, make chairs, like I don't know, like I think there's a I don't know where you draw the line because I don't want to make assumptions, and I want to be impeccable with my word, and whatever the first one was, but I do think actually somebody out there needs to hear always do your best. But I think the people that, a lot of the people probably in this room and people in the city of Los Angeles, when they hear that, they just go like, what the fuck do you think I'm doing? You dumb piece of shit. More like 3 agreements, all right? But then we thought about it, we're like, you know what? I think a lot of people out there actually, like someone that worked at Enron, maybe if they had read that, always do your best. And they're like, I'm doing my best. Yeah, but really? Your best?
Yeah, but that just doesn't include like your work or your creativity. That includes, your...
Well, let's see what he meant. Because I never bothered to read it. Because I'm like, fuck that role.
The way you behave to other people.
Always do your best. Your best is going to... Yeah, okay. Okay. I got it, guys. I got your tweets. I get it. Season 4 was great now. It's all hilarious. It's all coming to my watch. You've all got my watch. You all live on my wrist. Number 4. Now we lost Jeff. Always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. That's it? Okay, see, dumb agreement. Just do your best, whatever. I always do. I try. It always sucks. But that's a judgment on me. You're not supposed to hate yourself, too. There's somewhere in there.